So, after this demo, let's move on to the next step. So, the problem in the existing architecture is that we can connect to the DB server or the private subnet through public subnet. That's fine because we have mentioned in the security group that all the traffic from the web server should come to our DB server. It should not come from any outside network. But we cannot connect to the internet from the private subnet. Hence, the OS update, patching, all those activities of our instance cannot get carried out because it is blocking the internet. So the solution for this problem is to have a NAT gateway. NAT gateway is a network address translation gateway. It allows instance in the private subnet to connect to the internet or any AWS service which is running inside the private subnet like EC2 or anything. It can connect to the internet, but it will prevent internet from connecting to the instance inside the private subnet. So in this way we can achieve our OS update patching in all the activities. The bandwidth of this gateway is from 5 Gbps to 45 Gbps. So, how to create a NAT gateway? First, we have to create the NAT gateway in the public subnet, and then we have to update the route table of DB server or EC2 in our private subnet and add a route to this NAT gateway. So, what we should do here, let's go back to our diagram. So, this is our architecture. So, let me erase everything. Okay, this cannot be erased. But let me tell you one thing like, okay, so in this subnet 1, we can have a NAT gateway here. Inside, not here, but inside the public subnet. So this is our public web server subnet. So inside this, we can have a NAT gateway. Now this private subnet, this route table, we will connect to the NAT gateway, and this NAT gateway will connect to the internet. So while doing this, the traffic from this subnet can go from this route table to the NAT gateway, and this NAT gateway will connect us to the internet, but traffic cannot come from internet to this. So this will remain a secure connection. This private subnet will remain a secure connection. So how to do this? Inside our hub console, let's go. We will create a NAT gateway. Let's go to our VPC. Let's go to your VPC. So this is our VPC. First, go to the NAT gateway and create a NAT gateway. So this is learning VPC NAT gateway. We need to select a subnet. So we will create this inside the web server subnet. Connectivity, a type of NAT gateway is public. Elastic IP associated to this. We can allocate IP, and then there you go, create the NAT gateway. Once we created this NAT gateway, the root table for our private subnet, that is, if we go to the subnets, the DB server subnet, that is the private subnet, it is associated with the root table. The table is ending from A58D. So A58D, go to this table, and the step here is update the root of DB server or EC2 in the private subnet and add a root from this to NAT gateway. So in the root table, edit root, add a root, will allow all the IPs NAT gateway. Select the NAT gateway and save the changes. So now the traffic can flow easily. Now we have to uh, see, like in our next upcoming, security groups. So computer uses different ports, like if we talk about a human structure, so we use ear to listen sound, okay, we use a nose to smell, okay, like this we use eyes for the light, like this we use different thing for the different senses, like this is for sound, right, and this is for the smell. All these things we use. Similarly, a security group is having different ports to communicate with each other. Example, http port 80, https port 443, and it is a stateful, means any port which is open, it is open for both inbound and outbound, means it remember. So if we are opening port 80 for the inbound, automatically the outbound traffic will also go from port 80, stateful. Now moving to the network ACL or access control list. This is also acts as a firewall, and it is also an additional security. But here, if we have two types of ACL. One is like a default ACL and one is custom ACL. So the default ACL allow all the traffic by default, but custom ACL deny all the inbound outbound traffic by default. So all the subnet should associated with ACL. So if we have not created a new ACL, all the subnet will get associated to a default or main ACL, and it is stateless, means it don't remember. We need to define separate inbound and outbound rules. So ACL rules contain the number, and execution of rule is from lowest to highest. For example, this is a 100 number, 200 number. So in 100 number I am writing that http rule for the inbound is allowed, okay, and 200 is ssh, in the inbound is allowed. So first it will allow the http and then it will allow the ssh. So it will go from this, it will follow like this. Suppose in 300 number I have written http is deny, so it will not follow this, it will ignore this because it has already executed http allow, so it will not follow. So in it should be in that order, and aws recommend to start from 100. So to implement the network ACL access control list, we have to create a ACL for the public subnet. So right now the default ACL is there, but for the public subnet, by default, if we create everything is denied, but we have to allow HTTP and SSH. So let's go and create a ACL. Here, I have gone and created a network ACL. Create this. So if we go here, we have two subnets and the new VPC which I have created, learning VPC, by default one ACL is there, and this ACL is having two subnet because we have created two subnet inside this VPC. So now I am creating a new ACL for our public subnet. So this is for web server ACL, or web server subnet ACL, because it is ACL are always for the subnet. And then we have created this. So once we have created this web server subnet, so the other one where we have this subnet association. So in this we have web server and this, so we have to edit the association and the web server association. Okay, let's go here. And here we have two subnets associated. We have to edit the subnet association, and we have to select this. Not sure why it's not allowing. Let's see. This default network ACL for this, you can't disassociate its subnet using this page. Instead, edit the subnet association from the network ACL page. So we are inside the network ACL page, and okay, so this is the subnet. This is subnet association for this. So if I edit subnet association, I think there is some issue here. First, let's go to this web server, what we have created, and let's add a web server subnet here. Save the changes. Okay. So once we save this, now if we go to the servers, yes. Now you can see that once we have associated our web subnet here, automatically it got removed from the DB, from this main ACL of learning VPC. It got removed and it got added here. Now this ACL which we have added here, we have to add some rules. So if I am creating rules, for example, add new rule, and as per this, we are allowing HTTP and SSH. So let's go back there, and here in this new rule, give the rule number as 100, allow HTTP, right, from all, add new rule, give it 200, and allow SSH from all, and save the changes. So this way, now if we go back to our diagram, and all traffic is already allowed, it's in denied. Then now let's go back to our diagram. So here in this diagram, we have we have created two subnets. We have created two root tables. One is the main root table which is connected with the private, and the other root table is connected with the public subnet. Then we have created EC2 instance and two different security group. This security group allow traffic from only this web server. Then to remove the problem of connectivity to internet, we have created a NAT gateway and we updated a root table. Then at the end we have created one ACL for the public, which will allow the public traffic HTTP and SSH, because this is a public subnet. And then everything is already connected with the internet gateway. So I hope this video is helpful for you guys, and if so, please to leave your comments and share your feedbacks, and please try to do this by your own. Try to understand how we create a virtual private network, how we create route tables, how we attach that to our subnets, and then how to create ACL, how to add rules in the ACL, the problem of accessing the internet, how to solve using net gateway, then how to provision EC2 and security group inside subnet. Everything is covered in this video, so please to try by your own and do leave your comments. And in the upcoming videos I will come up with the VPC endpoint, peering, private link, cloud hub, VPN cloud hub, direct connect, transit gateway, and AWS wavelength. So these are some more topics regarding VPC which we should know if we are going to prepare for exams or either work on VPC. So I hope this video will be helpful for you. If you have any questions, please do leave in the comment section. I'll try to answer them all. And take care of yourself. Have a great day ahead. Bye bye.